Any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move it in the opposite direction. Ernst Friedrich Schumacher once said, and I was like, whoa, this is so wise, very deep. But how could I use it in my project? As you can remember from the previous video, I was really unsure about mechanic of giving items to NPCs or crates. And then, okay, no need to press another button which is unintuitive. So if a player approaches an object that you could give an item to, while holding an item in his hands, offering feature will be triggered, and by one simple click he can give it away. Touch of genius, indeed. It's been a long time since the last video, and there is an actual reason why it took so long for me to post anything about the game I'm making. But here we are. I'm making a Steam page for the game, and that's why I focused more on marketing stuff than on the game itself. But I will share some progress with you, and also I want to discuss why do we play games. And also, I have a question for you at the end of this video, and I would like to hear what you think. Let's start with changes on the game. As always, try to enjoy my accent. Let's go. First of all, I made support for high frequency screens, and now if you have AVBE set up, you can see how smooth the game is. And right now it supports all up to 165 Hz. It was actually pretty easy to implement, but was hard to Google. Another thing I made is data tables. Well, when you start a game, you don't really know what it will require to have in it for the smooth development. So I just made a system that, as I thought, will be fine to hold any information about the items. Spoiler, it was crap. So I decided to implement data tables, but I could hold open variables about the item type, name, object model, materials, and so on. That wasn't hard to do, but it was a lot of boring work to destroy old ruins and build a new, beautiful castle without breaking the logic of the game. Same goes on skeleton. Now I added an additional bone that will handle the items in the hands, so I can do better animations related to the items. There was a lot of retargeting from the old animation as an Unreal, so in a Cascade as well. The release software I used to produce animations. Another reason to do little renewing was the eyes. Before it was just flat texture with the iris on it, now it has eyeballs that could be controlled very nicely. And also, they shine a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to notice, but it definitely makes the character look better. Those changes have to be made so I could have a better development flow in the future. It is better to make those changes when the project isn't huge. I classify it as an investment in the future, so, future me, you owe me one. I remade the way you control the character. Now animations are directed towards the direction of movement by default. However, if you aim, the character will strafe. I also made a new animations, such as walking, jumping and climbing 1 meter obstacles. Because I made a new skeleton, I've also had to remake some old item related animations. There is a curious problem in nowadays games. If you look really closely, you can notice that the gun is not pointing at the point under crosshair. It is always a little bit off. Many games such as CSGO, Overwatch, Apex Legends, etc. have this little issue. More about it you can watch in this video by Garbage. I had a choice. I could make procedural animation that will change the transform of the hands, so they will always look at the point under crosshair. But there is probably will be a bug with it. And let's be honest, it isn't an easy task to do, and I have a miserable life to live, so I just figured out to make a little magic trick. I replaced the UI crosshair to actual 3D crosshair that lives in the same world as a character. And when it comes to the gun, there is a new crosshair, projecting the crosshair at the point the gun is currently pointed at. Little trick, but very effective. It also made world navigation a little bit more fun and joyful. I also made the character look at the point where the crosshair is, because why not? I've already done it earlier. Now it's a pleasure just to look at things. There is not much news, but I would like not to share more. because I want to make a surprise when I finally make a Steam page for the game. Now I want to talk why we play games. Why do we play games? Idea that we want to escape reality is lousy, so I reject that idea easily. It is totally my opinion, and you may not agree with me. Feel free to confront me in the comments, but hear me out. I don't believe we play for fun. If it would be so, we all would play games like Sven, in which 32 people be hopping around Half-Life maps, dying like flies, while some dude just playing Ice Cube good day on the voice chat. No. There are games that have a competition, exploring, collecting, gartering, fighting strange looking dogs with your own strange looking dogs. But in my opinion, the main reason we play games is because we seek for a new experience. Recently, I played Elden Ring with my friend. We got a seamless co-op mode and were free to roam around, fight enemies, explore this amazing world and goof around, of course. We previously played Dark Souls 3, and to my surprise, our playthrough of Dark Souls 3 was totally different from what we had in Elden Ring. You see, Dark Souls is more focused on combat with strong enemies, with interesting attack patterns, battle styles, sizes, etc. But Elden Ring wasn't it at all. It was a game about the journey of the Tarnished that came from dirt to become Elden Lord, or baby doll husband. Whole experience was different. The whole game is not about a physical journey from getting one point to another, but your own spiritual journey for your hero as well as for you. As you progress through the game, you as a player and a character learn more about the world, its history, its inhabitants, face different enemies and find new gear. It is now not only the action RPG game, but the adventure action RPG game. As I mentioned, we played a seamless co-op mode, so it was a really pleasant experience to share a joy of journey with a close one. When I first played Sekiro, I almost hated it. I hated the controls, hated the styles, hated the prosthesis feature. I dropped the game and then, a few years later, I revisited it. I realized that on my first playthrough I had the wrong mindset about the game. I expected a similar experience to the Dark Souls, but the game was about something different. I sat down and started to learn the game and ways to be better at it. At the playthrough for the third ending, I got inside. Even when enemies are stronger, I just nailed them like they were nothing but dust, and the fights with bosses became pure joy, because it felt that I am the one who is danger. I am now the one who knocks. It didn't feel like they were stronger than me. They were just worthy opponents, the trials of my skills. Sekiro was teaching me how to become shinobi, and when I finally became one, I experienced what it is like, be the master of the sword. It's even better when you know you come all this way from being a fucking trash to destroyer of enemy boys, the one who obliterated red circles like balloons. They even have this little hand placement thing in the cutscenes to hint us to just learn to master sword fighting.
This will only take a moment. Gyoi. Mairu.
Everyone adores Witcher 3, but what would it be if you weren't badass mutant men who fight monsters and fuck women? For me, the joy of playing Witcher comes mostly from being a tired old man who is poor and sick of war and political intrigues, just like me in real life, but with swords and superpowers, and also women. Racing games did the same thing too. They add supercars that, let's be honest, you can never drive in your life, and this sells the game for you. Everyone wishes their favorite team to be victorious, but the real thing is, you can experience them winning in Premier League only in FIFA, unless you're a Manchester City fan or something. This unique experience does not come only by being someone who you are not. When I was younger, I didn't fucked up my entire life, I played a lot of Starcraft 2. I wanted to be good at it, for no reason. So I just played maps that trained skills of microcontrol, macro control, tactics tricks, and so on. I wasn't just playing it, I was mesmerized by it. I didn't play ranked because I was a pussy and the one-on-one was scary for me. It made me pretty nervous and anxious, but when I did, I felt like I was actually flying. The process of dueling someone was a pure pleasure, not because winning or losing, but the process itself. It was a great feeling to build, manage, produce troops, learn techniques, almost the same time as fighting and searching for the enemy troops. Well, it's hard to explain. I guess it is something similar to what musicians feel when they perform a really hard part flawlessly, not because of the result, but because of the process. I found joy in playing the game as it provided me with the experience that felt worthwhile in return for the time I invested in mastering it. The experience of thinking fast on both scales and also clicking the right actions fast enough. I got to the Diamond League without even trying hard, which is crazy for me. This experience of flying burned into my brain as the first kiss or first vodka blackout. So, in my opinion, main reason why we play games is because we seek for the experience we didn't experience before, or we know we will never experience. It is the reason to look at the games at a different angle. What experience do it provide that I'm secretly horny for? Experience of being a smart city mayor? Of slaying hordes of demons with a shotgun? Or a sword? Experience survival in the world that is crushed under zombie apocalypse? Or in a forest somewhere in the north? Under the sea probably? How about experience what it's like to hunt down monsters while horny? That changes not only the way I look at other games, but also the way I look at my own game. What experience should I provide to the player? And most importantly, how could I do that? At this logic, game mechanics are not needed to be fun or cool anymore. They need to work together to create a certain experience for the player. I once was asked about what is special about my game and for who I am making it. I answered without hesitation, for the ones who like me but are much more lost and disappointed in society and who are searching for something to love about the ruins of the cracked world they live in. Not sure if you are still here. If you are, you'll probably enjoy this video. Push the subscribe button like a bully kid in the face and ring the bell as the victorious person you are. Thank you. So I made 2 animations for the flashlight and I just wonder which one do you like more and find more suitable. I would like to hear your opinion about it in the comments. Hope to contact you soon, pals, but you'll never know. Stay safe, much love, till the next time.